Welcome back. Kim Jong-un recently marked 10 years in power by warning of a great life and death struggle for his country. And then last night, the Hermit Nation launched a suspected ballistic missile, which flew more than 300 miles before it landed in the Sea of Japan. The North Korean dictator recently pledged to boost his country's military capacity while rebuffing any of the White House's attempts to resume talks of denuclearization. Joining us now to talk about this is former State Department spokeswoman Morgan Ortagus. Good to see you. Is there any strategy behind the timing here? You got the Olympics coming up here real soon, and they're making noise again.
So when Kim Jong-un does this, it's normally a cry for attention. There's so much going on in the world. Biden and the United States are focused on China and Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine, JCPOA, and Iran. So sometimes he does it for attention. Sometimes they're quite simply just testing out their materials and their own nuclear capabilities. So these tests I wouldn't say they're routine because they do violate UN Security Council resolutions, but it's not something, it's not like we haven't ever seen them before. We did see them in the Trump administration. Then, of course, President Trump decided to take a totally different approach and engage directly with Kim Jong-un, which is really an unprecedented way of dealing with the country. But listen, it's very important. It's not something, even if they are launching these ballistic missiles, and even if it happened under the Trump and Obama administrations, they're still trying to improve their capabilities and their weaponry to either hurt the United States or one of our allies in the region. And it requires a lot of tough diplomacy to keep this in check.
Where are they at right now? I mean, obviously, this administration, I think, is ready to deal with North Korea the same way that the Trump administration did, without preconditions. There's no interest, though, at this time. Why is that?
I think that this administration is probably waiting for the elections in South Korea. Moon, who was really, by my account, by my estimate, a very weak president of South Korea, there's a presidential election, and so I think that the Biden administration is probably waiting to see who they're going to be dealing with in South Korea. But listen, there are no easy answers in North Korea. It's actually one of the places, you have to remember, we had some historic accomplishments in the Trump administration. Nikki Haley at the UN was able to get the toughest sanctions ever placed on North Korea. She was able to get that through the United Nations. We had China cooperating with us for a time, but it really takes someone. I don't know that the Biden administration is going to be able to do something different on North Korea. It takes someone larger than life. It takes someone like Donald Trump with a different approach. And a lot of people say, well, look, they just tested. Your approach didn't work. Listen, again, we were able to have the toughest sanctions ever placed on North Korea. President Trump was able to get the first leader-to-leader commitment for North Korea to denuclearize. So these are things, whenever you look at probably the toughest account in the world, when I look at all the things, Rob, in my briefing book, when I had to talk and go in front of the media, anytime it was North Korea, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about this. It is the toughest portfolio.
No, I totally get it. It's obviously a very complicated place. I would love to see that country, by the way. I would just love to see what it's like inside of that place. It's so mysterious. I got 30 seconds here for the final thing, and it's the weirdest story of the day. New York Post reporting North Korea claims Kim Jong-un's father invented the burrito. Do you have any inside intelligence on that? Was a burrito invented in North Korea?
I think some of our friends below the border might argue over that one.
I'd say so. I feel like it's been a while since we've been eating burritos.
Do they even have burritos? And who eats Asian burritos?
I don't think they have any food over there to begin with. But yeah, an Asian burrito. I don't know what would they. I don't know what they do with that. I can't imagine. It'll remain a mystery. I guess we can't figure that one out. Morgan, good to see you as always.
Thank you, Rob.